Good morning. This is what I do in my free time. I make free electricity. Well, I just remade one. Anyhow, I just wanted to show this does work. Basically, what I've done here is I've replaced, like, your car engine would drive your alternator, which produces enough electricity to recharge the battery, which would be enough to run that inverter. But I found the right combination through motor and pulley size, because you got to have about at least 3 times the pulley on the drive motor you have there, and an even bigger one would make it spin faster. But I do just want to prove that this works. 12.9 volts. It's actually dropped from 13.2 because I had that light running off the system. So just that light running by itself was draining the battery down. Now let me show you. I'm going to put power to the machine. It's going to get a little loud. And then I'm going to show you the voltage. It'll drop down. See? Dropped all the way down to 10 something at the start there. But this is what is available there. And as you saw, it's going up now. But at the battery, I'm getting 13, 14.3, 14.3, 13.8. That is exactly what your car would do when you're driving down the road. You're putting in alternating current. That's what they call it, an alternator. And this right here is an old school alternator. So that senses what the battery is doing, and then this low voltage here, like 2 point something, 3 point something, it's alternating. That's telling the alternator what to consume. Okay, so again, there you are. You can see it's charging 13.9, 12.6. Doing what alternators do. Now this, I made these in 2010 when gas, actually 2008 when Obama got in, gas went to $4 a gallon overnight is when I started to research this. Long story short, Trinity Broadcasting Network stole my first prototype. Cost me $2,500 to make that prototype. And I believe it was Matthew Crouch, because Paul Crouch was trying to work with him and the other son on using this to run satellites to preach the gospel in Africa. Well, once they had it, never heard back from them. Never could get my prototype back. As you see, I'm going up from 12.3 to 12.4, so it's charging. And I've got an older AC Delco alternator in there right now. I have a box full of alternators that I use. I actually have some that produce a little more power. I'm going to be expanding this machine. Let me go ahead and turn it off. It's a little loud, but basically, I just want to explain it, and that I'm not depressed in any way. There's no, I'm not. Oh, I'm gonna turn the power out there. Because guys like me, we disappear and wind up getting lead poisoning or falling off of buildings, or stabbing ourselves in the back and falling off buildings and stuff. Stuff that just doesn't happen. So again, just your battery is strong enough to run this. It has to be a strong enough power inverter, and this is a 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It does make a difference between the pure sine wave and a modified sine wave, which is not as powerful and will not run motors well. So 15 years of messing with this, as you can see, it's still going up. That'll get back up to 13 or 13.1. There's a little leftover magnetism in the car alternator there, and the battery bounced back. But I've ran these all day and ran power tools and stuff. I can run that tire tool right there, which is quite a bit of watts. I've even had that below the house breaker before. I can run that and it will recover. And but basically, just If you want to learn more about this or how to build one, I have a car channel. It's called 1978 Garage, where I've gotten into this. And I'm going to be adding solar and another battery, and then eventually I'm going to be tying this into the house. But if you want to catch me over there on that channel, and some of those videos were made some years ago. So if you find some older videos, or maybe even some, you might catch me let a cuss word slip here or there. So please do not hang me for that. I try to keep it real anyway, and everybody knows I'm not perfect, nor do I claim to be. That is the difference between the hypocrites and the non. I am not perfect. I came out of deep darkness into the light and need Jesus' forgiveness, and His mercies new every day. And thank God for that. So anyway, this is what I do when I'm not working, and it's warm enough in the garage to do things, but free electricity is not only possible. Somebody who delivers food for a living even can reproduce it. I got most of this information from Tesla, Nikola Tesla, from the early 1900s, and who invented pretty much most of the stuff on this table. And God helped where I was stuck. God would actually send me like articles, or just, believe it or not, has actually just told me some things, or give me an idea. This is why this doesn't work, or I needed, the bigger pulley or whatever. He's just sent it to me, but it does work to produce power on a small scale. So this is just a 12 volt to 115 volt system. I can use this to run most of the stuff in my garage, and right now charge my phone, and it saves money. It's nice to have free electricity. Why don't you have it, since it's 100-year-old technology, other than that sine wave inverter there? Because the energy company told, JP Morgan, you have him to thank, JP Morgan Chase, told Tesla had a car that ran off of, it was even more complicated, that ran off of, could pull the electricity out of the sky, pull the electrostatic charge out, which nowadays would be really simple because we have microwaves, radio waves, all that stuff can be turned into electricity, and you can look that up on YouTube. And it's been around, but then who would your trillionaire energy company get their $200 to $400 a month from?